Assalamualaikum everyone. I am Manahil Remote Jawali. I am a student of Rahan School Kiringi campus and I am from Karachi, Pakistan. And today we have the pleasure of interviewing Ma'am Carla, an individual with a diverse range of interests and experiences. Ma'am Carla is an owner operator at the Sanctuary of Madran Rose, an aspiring model and a Reiki master, all while residing in the charming town of Little River, Carolina. Today, we will be getting to know Ma'am Carla beyond her professional role and diving into her personal interests and experiences. So, welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's start our interview. How are you? Can you repeat because your mic was mute?
1 second here. Okay. All right, there we go. My mic got muted.
Okay, can you introduce yourself for my viewers?
So you'd like to know a little bit about me?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you again. I wish that I could be interviewing you. I think that would be very interesting, but I appreciate you wanting to get to know me, and I think we all have something valuable to share. So I was born in the United States in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, that area, but recently I moved to South Carolina, which is 9 hours away. And I went to college. I was the first person in my family to go to college, other than my mother, who was a registered nurse. So that was an honor for me. I grew up in an Italian Catholic family. My grandmother was first generation Italian, and our family is considering the opportunity to become dual citizens of Italy. So that is very exciting to us. So when I went to college, I majored in political science, psychology, and Spanish. Started out with political science, and I studied at La Universidad de Barcelona when I was a junior, and then spent 5 years doing education, and I decided I wanted to work more with helping people. So then I went back to school and got a master's degree in counseling. And I worked in schools with students about your age for about 15 years. And then my husband and I, he has Ukrainian background. We adopted our son from Russia in 2001. And so that changed my career path. Then I left the schools and I decided to go back to school myself and become a massage therapist. And I also decided to own my own business. So I've been doing that for 23 years.
Alright, that's awesome. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful introduction. So now let's move on to questions. My first question is on your screen. Can you tell us about your role as an honor operator at the sanctuary at Mandarin Rose and what inspired you to purpose this venture?
Okay, thank you. That's a really great question. And as I mentioned, I did change careers because we adopted our son. And when we were in the process of doing that, I decided to go back to school and be a massage therapist because I wanted to continue to help people. And instead of problem solving with the mind, I decided to start problem solving with the body and allowing people to be more relaxed and hopefully in less pain so that they could be able to be educated on how to improve their quality of life, reduce their stress. So the piece of education, which has always been important to me, still was continuing, even though I was using a different means to do it. So I really started with my son, but it has been a wonderful experience for me because I've been an employer. I have people working for me as well as I was working in my own business. So I had to learn how to be a good leader and manager and problem solver with just whatever came up on the day to day.
All right, great, ma'am. Thank you so much for your answer. So, my next question is, how do you balance your career as an aspiring model with your other roles and responsibilities?
So that was a lot harder for me when I was more involved. Now I actually do have two businesses in Pennsylvania and South Carolina, but I am starting to phase out and not be so much directly involved. The modeling has always, and the acting have always just been kind of a hobby for me. I have had the pleasure of being on several Netflix shows and HBO shows. So that was really wonderful to work with some A-list actors in the background of those productions. And so modeling would just come up now and again. And I just like, I'm creative, so I like to work with other like-minded creative people and go out and do photo shoots and just see what kind of exciting photos we could create based on a theme. One time we did a goddess shoot and we all dressed up and we went to a particular place in my former hometown, and that was really very memorable. I was got to be a Greek goddess for a day, and so I enjoyed that. And I just love working with people who like to think out of the box and are open to trying something different that maybe's never been done before, just to see where it might go. So I think being creative is just a skill that's valuable in all aspects of life.
All right, great, ma'am. Thank you so much for your answer. So, my next question is, as a Reiki master, what do you find most rewarding about practicing and teaching Reiki?
So, because of my background in counseling, I just was always open to healing. And I found that Reiki was another way to heal. And honestly, we call it an energetic prayer. And so my background is Catholic. And I always felt like I was trying to do as physicians do, to do no harm, to help someone balance their energy. And to some people who don't know anything about Reiki, it just sounds strange. So that's why I try to educate people about what is Reiki, the power of it. You can actually send distance healing to people. So I was just in Pennsylvania recently, and my mentor, Lana, whose space I was using, invited some people for a prayer for Israel. And so we are all Reiki masters, and we all came together, and there was some drumming and some chanting and some sharing of feelings. And I felt that that was just a very powerful moment to be able for all of us to take our concerns and our emotion and to support each other. So Reiki is a way to help people become in balance with their lives and their emotions. And it's kind of a fine tuning, if you will, to help people maybe be more productive or more in line with the direction that they're going. If they had any mental, physical, or emotional blockages, it's something that I kind of, as an energy specialist, can help them work through.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. So, could you share some insights about the uh, Sanctuary Holistic Wellness Philosophy that guides your work at the Sanctuary at Mandarin Rose?
Okay, thank you. Again, I think it comes back to, I always feel that massage is energy in motion and it's a way to heal. And so I don't always do Reiki with my clients, but sometimes I'll end with some hand or toe holds where I am trying to just balance their energy. But if someone wants a specific Reiki session, then we'll do a deeper dive into it. other than just kind of a finishing ending, if you will. So the holistic philosophy was really trying to educate, to empower. As a female business owner, I wanted to empower other women to be as most effective as they could with all the different roles that they have in their life. And so, and of course, I have clients who are men as well. But as a female entrepreneur, I really feel a specific need and desire to support other women, because I know from my own experience how many roles I have juggled in my life and how sometimes that can be overwhelming. So I guess it's a desire, just as we're doing right now, to connect and to support and to be present for someone and to help them maybe get unstuck and be able to move beyond the moment that they're in, whether it's pain in their body, pain in their heart, pain in their mind, because I feel like mind, body, and spirit are all intertwined.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much for your great answer. So now let's move on to next question. My next question is on your screen. What are some of your favorite hobbies or pastime when you are not working?
So again, I think balance is really important. So even when I was working full time, I really felt a need to take care of myself and teach and practice what I do, which is have self-care. So I always exercise. I like yoga. Where I live now, I'm very fortunate. I live 3 miles from the beach, and the weather is very mild. So it's a beautiful day today. So I would love a walk on the beach or a bike ride through my neighborhood. Also, I love to travel, and that started back when I was a junior in college at the University of Barcelona, and I discovered a huge cosmopolitan city, and I did several Eurail passes through Europe. And here I am, all these years later. I've been to 28 countries. I just appreciate speaking to someone like yourself, who isn't going to have the same worldview as me, but I know that we have things in common and we just want to find out what they are. So I feel like I can learn so much from someone who's not like me, then I can learn from someone who thinks like me. So that's why I love traveling the world, meeting new people. In fact, I had a goal when I was about your age. I thought I wanted to be an archaeologist. So I decided at that time that I wanted to go to Egypt. And so this year, for my milestone birthday, my husband and I did go to Egypt. And we spent 2 weeks there, cruising down the Nile and seeing a lot of the pyramids and temples and learning about the culture. And it was absolutely amazing. I highly recommend it. And one day I'll never forget was the day that I rode a camel. That was incredible. I don't know if I'll do it again, but it was incredible, and I'm so glad I did it. So travel, exercise. I like to spend time with friends. My family is very important to me. So I love to, where I live now, host my friends and family so we can enjoy time together.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your share your hobbies and your hobby, your pastime. So now let's move on to next question. My next question is on your screen. Could you share a memorable travel experience or place? Sorry. What do you enjoy most about living in Little River, South Carolina, in terms of local culture of life or lifestyle?
Okay. So we are fortunate that we live near the Intra-Coastal Waterway, and I didn't even know this, but it starts in Florida, which is south of us, and it goes the whole way up to the north, close to New York. So people could actually sail their boats or their yachts up the Intracoastal Waterway. And so one of the things that I've enjoyed has been going out on a sunset cruise on the Intracoastal Waterway. And also we have a lot of wonderful restaurants along that area where you can get a delicious seafood meal. And so that I really enjoy. But the beach is the thing that calls me the most, that I love sitting at the beach at sunset and watching the sun go down and listening to the waves.
All right, that's awesome. So, what do you enjoy most? Oh, sorry. Are there any books, movies, or music that had a significant impact on your life that you are currently enjoying?
So I would say many, because I am an avid reader. So there's too many books to mention. Um, I would also say music I love, and I want to just take a throw out to one particular musician who I've enjoyed um, and used in massage music, and his name is Eden Rakel, and he is an Israeli musician. So I wanted just to mention him. I always loved his music, and one time, a few years back, he did come to the United States, and I wanted to see him, and it just didn't work out in my schedule. But I just am very impressed by the Israeli fusion music that he has created. So that's music. I love art too. I'm a painter. I would just say it's a hobby. So I love to just go out and see nature. And then if I see something that inspires me, I'll paint it. Acrylic is the medium that I use. And then also, gosh, if I could think of a particular book, I just read Lessons in Chemistry. So that is a book that, again, is about women, not radical feminism in any way, but women kind of finding their way through a patriarchal society and finding a role and finding their way to succeed in within the culture.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful answer. So, learning often involves challenges and setbacks. Can you share a time when you face a significant challenge in your personal life and how you overcome it through learning and growth?
So I feel like there were several times in my life when I feel like I was blindsided. Something happened that I wasn't expecting, and I felt a bit wounded by that. So I needed some support from my family and my friends. I prayed about it to try to get a balance so that I wouldn't just be stuck in a place of grief and loss. My parents are deceased, so I think anyone who loses their parents, it's a hard feeling to let go of what has always been there for you, that you've always, I don't want to say taken for granted, but you've always enjoyed them being there. I know everyone has a different relationship with their parents, but my mother and father gave us a very solid foundation, and I'm so thankful for that. And so again, I just think I have a strong support system. So when things like the death of my parents, or even how I wanted to make some changes to my business did not go the way I had anticipated, I was able to regroup and also, chat with God, and just also take some time for myself to allow myself to heal and have a perspective about why that happened, and maybe even come to the conclusion that the reality is, with some of those unexpected business things, that actually, even though it didn't go the way I hoped, it gave me a gift of something that actually turned out to be even better than what I anticipated. So I always look for that silver lining. It's just sometimes it takes a while to find it. and it takes some support and sometimes even therapy when it's pretty traumatic to try to get beyond something that leaves you feeling like wounded and there's a lot of loss and grief, and you don't want to live in that moment. You need to understand it and embrace it and say, it's normal to feel this way, but I don't want to feel this way forever. So therefore, I need to find a way to keep my focus moving forward and not get stuck in the past.
All right, ma'am, great answer. Thank you so much for your answer. So, can you tell us about a person in your life who has been a significant teacher or mentor? What important lessons you will learn from them?
So I've been thinking a lot about this person lately, and I think I'm really blessed that I have a lot of mentors. And just in general, I want to say I'm the oldest of six. So while my parents were busy raising my other brothers and sisters, I was getting a lot of support and encouragement from my teachers. And there was a time back then when teachers would allow you to come and stay at their house for the weekend. I had teachers like that would just invite me to come and spend the weekend with them. I just feel very fortunate that they saw something in me and they wanted to pay it forward. And so I try to continue that by paying it forward and being a mentor to other people. And I was fortunate to be able to be a mentor to many of my massage therapists and had several who were clients of mine that became massage therapists. And they said that I influenced them. And that means so much to me. But the specific person I wanted to say and share with you is my Aunt Connie. She is deceased now, but she was also my godmother. And so she took that role very seriously, and she always had masses said in my honor for my birthday. She sent me a Christmas ornament every Christmas that I could hang on my tree, and I have quite a collection thanks to her. One thing that she did that is so meaningful to me is that she lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, and she wanted to have a villa to support people in that area that was sponsored by Mother Teresa. So she helped fund and also escort Mother Teresa back in 1995 when she came to the United States, and also blessed and then created the Mother Teresa Villa, which exists in Charlotte today. And I get goosebumps just thinking about that because of what a special person she was, and also her whole family, just amazing people that I'm just really blessed to have, again, I feel, been mentored by them just by example of how giving and supportive and loving that they are and were.
All right, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. So, my last question is exploring new cuisines and cooking styles can be a delicious form of learning. Are there any cooking or culinary experience that have expanded your plate and culinary skills?
Well, that's an interesting question. I appreciate you asking it. I do love food from many cultures, and I was particularly intrigued with a lot of food from Egypt when we were there. So not only did I gain several pounds by trying all those foods, then I also, for example, came home and made falafel myself because I loved it so much. So I just think a Mediterranean diet is really healthy, and just love all the spices associated with foods from a lot of the countries in the Middle East, for example, your country as well. So I am always open to trying new things. One challenge for me is that I have a gluten intolerance, so I can't eat like the traditional breads and pastas. So when we were in the markets in Egypt and everyone was enjoying a pita that was freshly baked and smelled so wonderful, I really couldn't eat that except for maybe a taste, or I would have some symptoms. So I have to be creative about, like, for example, my husband and I had a dish the other night. So instead of pasta for my dish, I had shredded zucchini as my pasta. So it forces me again to be creative, but I like that. So I would say that I'm not finished finding those nuggets of cuisine. I just want to keep finding different foods that I will enjoy and that I can share. And I also like to host. So here in South Carolina, I've learned to eat grits and fried green tomatoes. That's something different that I had never really eaten that much before, but I do find very tasty.
Awesome. So, did you eat in Pakistan food?
Did I eat Egyptian food?
Pakistan's food.
A Pakistani. I feel like I have had like a fusion of that. And I do have some friends who are Pakistani, so it may be that I have, and I know that I have seen them posting different types of foods, but I think that every culture has its own gems of cuisine that everyone should try. Now, there's certain things that I don't feel like some of the shows you see today, I could not eat, like the organ meats or certain bugs and things like that. That's just not really anything that appeals to me. But everything else, I'd be willing to try one time.
All right. So, that's wrap up our insightful conversation with Ma'am Carla. We will learn about her multifaceted life, her patience, her unique experiences. Says Carla, thank you for sharing your time uh, and insight with us today. To our audience, we hope you found this interview as fascinating as we did. If you have any more questions for Carla, or if you'd like to uh, stay updated on her journey, feel free to connect with her on social media profiles or website if available. So, and to our all viewers, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for more engaging interviews and content. Have a wonderful day ahead, and thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
It's also my pleasure. Bye. Have a wonderful day
Bye.
ahead.
Take care. Be well.